welcome to our second day orientation for this month of November, year 2022. My name is Emmanuel Albupera, and I will be your host for today's meeting. At this moment, we will be having a collaborative discussion about gender-bread person. At the middle of the discussion, I'm expecting everyone to share their inputs about the given topic. Let me give you an overview about a gender-bread person means. It refers to a person whose gender identity does not correspond with what is socially expected based on their sex assigned at birth, and it can be used as an umbrella term to refer to a range of gender identities and experiences. And now, help me welcome one of our guests for this morning, Aldrich. The virtual floor is yours.
Attraction often referred to asexual orientation. Attraction describes a person's potential for emotional, spiritual, intellectual, intimate, romantic, and or sexual interests in other people and may form the basis for aspects of one's identity and or behavior. Sexual orientation or attraction refers to an enduring romantic sexual attraction. Sexual orientation is fluid. It includes people who we are attracted to and romantically attracted to. Many people believe sexual orientation are interlinked, but this is not the case. In history, society used to believe that men sexually attracted to women and vice versa. However, we know that many people are attracted to same sex and that who you are attracted to has nothing to do with your gender identity. Many people presume that women will always attracted with men, but this is always untrue and a misconception. There are many trans women who are lesbian or pansexual, for example. Pansexual is when person is personally likes all types of people, whether they be male, female, trans, or non-binary. We know our sexual orientation is separate to our gender identity, so it is important to not presume someone's sexual orientation because of their gender identity, and especially not because of their gender expression. Your sexual orientation is your relationship to sex and attraction. And whilst this can be who you prefer to have sex or who you are fall in love with. It can also be the fact that maybe you are not interested in sex that called asexual. But just because someone is asexual doesn't mean they are not romantically attracted to anyone. Many asexual people fall in love, have a relationship, marriage, and etc. So, romantic attraction to the types of people who we fall in love with, but it's not necessarily a sexual relationship.
Thank you, Aldrich, for your very informative insights. Now, gender-bread person, it deconstructs gender and sexuality to clarify the differences in interrelationships, but critically, not interconnectedness of five dimensions of human identity and behavior. Right? Now, let's also welcome our next guest for today's morning. Now, let's welcome Yanni. The virtual floor is yours.
All right, folks, here we go. A romaine and kale salad with avocado, cucumber, shishito peppers, and 4 kinds of cheese. Sprinkled in balsamic straight from Italy.
Wow! In my day, salads only had 2 ingredients. A rock-hard wedge of iceberg lettuce and a stinky old dried-up tomato.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to eat fast. Alex is stopping by in a few minutes to work on our robotics project.
Alex, is that the girl with that weird dog? Or the boy with the hat with the wings that flap?
No, Uncle Jay. This is Alex.
Oh, okay, I remember. A very nice young... come to think of it, well, is Alex a boy or a girl?
Actually, Alex doesn't define themselves as boy or girl.
What else is there?
Back in your day, most people understood the world in terms of just boys and girls. But now we know gender is more complex than that.
Wait, aren't we just talking about whether you're born with a or a hee?
When you're born, your sex is assigned in a medical way, but the sex listed on your birth certificate may not necessarily match your gender identity.
Gender identity is a person's inner experience of who they are in terms of gender, their deep personal sense of being male, female, a blend of both, or neither.
And while many people have a gender identity that's the same as their assigned birth sex of female or male, that's not always the case, because gender exists on a spectrum. Like transgender, which means a person whose gender identity is not consistent with their assigned birth sex. Non-binary, which means a person whose identity doesn't fall in the category of either male or female. And genderqueer or gender fluid, which means a person who does not identify themselves as having a specific gender at all.
Does gender identity have to do with being straight or gay?
Actually, no. Gender identity has to do with the way you feel about yourself, while sexual orientation is based on the way you feel toward others, the people you may or may not be attracted to.
You know, I really like Alex, and I can tell they're a good friend to you. But I'm still pretty confused about all of this.
That's okay. You don't have to fully understand someone to respect them. To start, try not to make any assumptions about a person's gender, and use the name and pronouns that they ask you to. Above all, be a friend or ally for people of all gender identities.
That's right, Mom. Oh, Alex is here. Come on in.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, hey, Alex. Care for some salad? The balsamic's right from Italy, you know.
One of the components of a gender-bred person is a gender identity. And as you can see, it is located on top of the model, particularly the brain. So let me define first what is gender identity. Gender identity is defined as the personal conception of oneself as male or female, or rarely both or neither. This concept is intimately related to the concept of gender role, which is defined as the outward manifestations of personality that reflect the gender identity. So, gender identity in nearly all instances is self-identified as a result of a combination of inherent and extrinsic or environmental factors. So, for example, I have this male friend who is really close to me. We always hang out and eat together during lunchtime when we were in senior high school. So our friends are always teasing us because we look like a couple, but of course they know that we are only friends. So some students speculating him that he's a gay or just being choosy because he doesn't have a crush or girlfriend and he doesn't show interest to girls. But he most likely seen to be with girls. And then after we graduated in senior high school, I think after a year, he posted a picture of him with a boy. So we thought that it's just like his friends or his co-workers. But we found out later that it's his lover. So I was shocked at the same time happy. I was shocked because it didn't cross in my mind that he is actually attracted to boys because of course he's straight, male, and we are close, and he didn't even try to tell me. So, but I am happy at the same time because finally he learned to show to the world who really he is. Imagine we are close but he never tell me, and I understand why. Because he is afraid to be judged by others. He is scared to be disrespected just because of expressing his identity, and that is not a crime. He is a straight man and his lover is a straight man too. So I learned that we should not limit our understanding about these things. And it's time for us to accept these kinds of people because they deserve it. They deserve to be accepted and to be respected. So if we cannot accept their change, then at least we should learn to respect them because it's their life, not ours, and their change doesn't affect our lives. So let them be. So if a person's identify him or herself a man or a woman, then he or she is a man or a woman.
Thank you, Yanni. That's indeed correct. Now let's welcome our third guest for today's morning. Let's welcome Joshua Warag. The virtual floor is yours.
Gender expression. Gender expression is how a person presents their gender to the world, or how they want the world to see them. For example, as female, male, both, neither, or in a completely different way altogether. A person might choose to present their gender with their clothing, hairstyle, voice, mannerisms, or in other ways. Gender expression can be really important for some people, as it may help a person to feel more comfortable with their body. Someone's gender expression doesn't necessarily tell you who they feel they are inside, or who they are attracted to, and a person's gender expression may change over time. Everyone will feel differently about gender expression, and different people will have different experiences and ideas. And that's it for this video. We hope you liked it.
Gender expression is how a person publicly expresses or presents their gender. This can include their behavior, outward appearances such as dress, hair, makeup, body language, and even their voice. A person's chosen name and pronoun are also common ways of expressing their gender. So, for example, Vice Ganda, he is a celebrity and popular influencer. His real name is not Vice Ganda but Jose Marie Borja Visceral. But he changed it, not literally changed it, but he made another name for himself, which is the Vice Ganda, to be called or to address him as a gay or as a woman. So, others perceive a person's gender through these attributes. So, this category focuses on the physical appearances and behavior of the person. A person's identity or gender identity is fundamentally different and not related to their sexual orientation. So sometimes there are persons who are dressed like a woman but their sexual orientation is a male. So that is an example of gender expression because gender expression just focuses on their femininity or their masculinity. But these categories rely on stereotypes about gender. And people sometimes face discrimination because of gender expression, especially for those who are in LGBT community. They are the one who suffered from discriminations because of their gender expression, the way they dress or the way they interact with other people. So sometimes even their family are not acknowledging them as a member of the family because they are a gay, they are a lesbian, or they are a bisexual. But we are fortunate because in the Philippines, LGBTQ community is accepted in our country and being supported by the government, and also given by we are giving them respect and love, although they are not same with us, or they are not straight. They are different from straight individuals. So unlike other countries such as the Muslim countries or communist countries, being a lesbian or being an LGBT member of LGBT community is prohibited and sometimes being punished by death. So that is the gender expression.
Social Warag for that information. Now let's move on our last guest for today's morning, and she will be the one to give us the closing remarks of this orientation. Let's welcome our Director of the Department of Education, Ms. Manalyn Tagupa. The virtual floor is yours.
Sex is usually says what is between in our legs. Sex defines the male, female, or intersex division of a species, especially as differentiated with reference to the reproductive functions. It is a sex genitalia that reflects biologically and physically. Sexual characteristics are physical traits of an organism which are indicative of its biological sex. These can include sex organs used for reproduction and secondary sex characteristics which distinguish the sexes of a species, but which are not directly part of the reproductive system. Also, sex characteristics includes hormones, chromosomes, body shapes, voice, pitch, and body hair. If you have a penis, people label you as a boy. If you have vagina, people label you as a girl. If you have buff, people label you as a intersex. Sex differences in humans include a generally larger size and more body hair in men, while women have larger breasts, wider hips, and a higher body fat percentage. The sexual instinct or attraction drawing one organism toward another, or its manifestation in life and conduct. This is what sexual orientation deals, that a man attracts to a woman, another man, or both. That a woman attracts to a man, another woman, or both. Sexual orientation simply asks for us to identify if we are straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transsexual.
Gender is one of those things everybody thinks they understand, but most people don't. Gender isn't binary, it isn't either or, and in many cases it's both and. Sam Killerman's Genderbread Person breaks this complicated concept into bite-sized digestible pieces. Gender identity is how you, in your head, experience and define your gender, based on how much you align, or don't align, with what you understand the options for gender to be. Gender expression is how you present gender, through your actions, clothing, demeanour, etc., and how those presentations are viewed based on social expectations. Anatomical sex is the physical traits you're born with or develop that we think of as sex characteristics, as well as the sex you're assigned at birth. Sexual or romantic attraction is how you find yourself feeling drawn or not drawn to some other people in a sexual, romantic, and/or other ways, often categorized within gender. We can think about all these things existing on continuums, where a lot of people might see themselves as existing between 0 and 100 on each. The gender identity continuum includes things like personality traits, jobs, hobbies, likes, dislikes, roles, and expectations. Gender expression continuum can include things like style and grooming, clothing, mannerisms, appearance, hair, and makeup. Common anatomical sex things include body hair, chest, hips, shoulders, hormones, penis, vulva, chromosomes, and voice pitch. And attractions continuum would range from women, feminine, and female people to men, masculine, and male people. As we can see, gender is complex and the way we understand it is constantly evolving. If you'd like more information, we'd recommend these support resources.
Hello everyone! I hope you gained learnings in our presentation. Thank you for watching.